dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, a Perry County murder suspect makes his first court appearance. Troy Campbell was arraigned in Perry County District Court this morning. He's accused of killing 29-year-old Ryan Whitaker. Police say the shooting happened in the early morning hours of February 18th. Campbell was charged with 1 count of murder and is being held at the Kentucky River Regional Jail on a $100,000 cash bond. The judge would not allow us in the courtroom this morning. We did get courtroom video, and we'll have that for you and much more on the arraignment coming up tonight at 6 o'clock. Following last year's devastating flood and given recent meat and poultry inflation, one Eastern Kentucky Conservation District has created a program to help local farmers. The Breathitt County Conservation District is taking applications for its egg layer program. This incentive allows Breathitt Countyans to buy chicks from the district at a discounted price, ultimately helping locals to become more self-sustaining and to help replenish many of the chickens that were lost in the flood.
You take these 5 chickens that they can get off of us for $15 and raise them up, and they can get off a dozen eggs in 3 days, over a dozen eggs in 3 days. They save $4. Then they can sell eggs out of them and make their money back to recoup their money to pay their chickens so they can eat eggs for free. It works out both ways.
The egg layer program is only open to those who live in Breathitt County, and those with the district will be following up with those who receive chicks to ensure everything is going well. The Breathitt County Conservation District will be accepting program applications until all of the chicks are sold or until March 31st. A bill aiming to help Kentucky's teacher shortage passed through committee this morning and now goes before the full House. Lawmakers agree the shortage needs to be addressed. Some say the lack of teachers in Kentucky has been building for years, as there has not been enough action taken to halt it. Representative James Tipton chairs the House Education Committee, and he presented House Bill 319. That bill would in part give some out-of-state teachers the certification to teach in the Commonwealth and provide a temporary teaching certification to people who have real-life experience in a subject.
If we weren't in this situation, we wouldn't consider that, but we are in this situation. And are you better off having somebody that's got a bachelor's degree in math, who has work experience in a math class teaching math, than having a long-term substitute?
Tipton says there are also other measures he would like to see pass this session.
Well, we continue to see mild weather out there this afternoon, but the good news, it is getting warmer out there, and we have seen some sunshine as well. Now, we have some high cloudiness out there. That's ahead of the chance for showers as we head towards that later on tonight and into early on our Wednesday. 61 out at Buffalo Mountain right now. There was the picture from downtown Hazard. I'm looking at it off screen now, and it's beautiful outside. Just high cloudiness there at the moment. Low to mid 60s region-wide. How about Jacksboro and Jonesville coming in at 66? Same thing in Harlan, 65 in Middlesboro. We'll continue to see a clean sweep on Pinpoint Doppler for now. But look off to the west. It's a very dynamic weather picture across the eastern third of the country. We got a warm front heading our way, and that'll bring us the possibility for showers as we head a little bit later on tonight. Middle and upper 40s out there as we finish things off tonight. We get breezy as well. That's ahead of potentially record-breaking heat. Well, February heat on the way, and those details in a few minutes. Steve?
Evan, thank you. At least 8 people have died after a new and powerful earthquake that struck 2 weeks after devastating quakes killed nearly 45,000 people in Turkey and Syria. CBS's Tina Kraus has the latest.
This dash cam video captures the moment everything goes dark and the ground starts shaking again in Turkey. Monday's 6.4 magnitude earthquake, striking one of the same areas along the Turkey-Syria border, hit hardest by the quakes 2 weeks ago. Families who had already lost their homes held on to each other in the streets as the rumbling went on. My heart is pounding, this woman says, telling her relatives to stay in the tent. Officials had warned victims of the earlier quakes not to go back to their homes to retrieve what was left, but some who did were caught up in the new quake. The road moved like waves, this man says. We made it through the last one, but this was worse. And a second 5.8 quake followed, along with dozens of aftershocks. As crews pulled another body from a collapsed building, the torment of these tragedies has become overwhelming for many survivors. Tina Kraus, CBS News.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken visited the earthquake zone yesterday and announced $100 million in humanitarian aid, saying America will help with earthquake recovery for as long as it takes. A Virginia rescue team that went to Turkey and Syria to assist in the aftermath of the catastrophic quake is now back home. The 79-member team consisted of first responders, doctors, engineers, and specialists. Half a dozen search and rescue dogs also tagged along. They spent 11 days searching in the rubble for survivors. Coming up on First at 4, we talk with our White House correspondent John Decker about President Biden's trip to Poland.
Plus, we continue to look warm, windy, and at times wet through this week. The latest on when we could see late spring highs coming up after this.